Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Buddy Matthews just wrestled at AEW Grand Slam Australia earlier tonight. During the show, he paid homage to his wife, Rhea Ripley. Buddy Matthews and Rhea Ripley first met each other during their time working in WWE in 2020. Their friendship blossomed and they began dating 2 years later in 2022. A year later, the couple announced their engagement and they finally tied the knot last year. Although Buddy and Rhea work for different promotions currently, they have always been supportive of each other's work. Their careers also have some parallels. Last year, at WWE Elimination Chamber, Rhea competed in her home country of Australia, and she wore a jacket with the country's flag on the back. Today, Buddy Matthews competed at Grand Slam Australia, and he decided to pay homage to his wife by wearing a similar jacket. On the February 3 episode of WWE Raw, Io Sky had the chance to qualify for the Elimination Chamber match. However, Rhea, who tried to help her out, ended up costing Io the match. The former WWE Women's Champion was quite upset about the setback. To make things right, Mammy offered Io a title shot on the Raw after Elimination Chamber. This means that Io still has a chance to make it to WrestleMania this year. Speaking on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Smack Talk podcast, Bill Apter said that Rhea will retain her title. However, Io will be more prominently featured in the match. Buddy Matthews sat in the locker room, a familiar place yet one that always carried a weight of anticipation before a big match. He adjusted his wrist tape, rolling his fingers over the tightly wound layers, his mind wandering beyond the arena walls. His career had taken him through the highs and lows of professional wrestling, from the grind of NXT to championship reigns across the world. But tonight, his thoughts were on himself. They were on his wife, WWE Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley. She was more than just a champion, more than just a star. Rhea was a force of nature, a dominant presence that had redefined what it meant to be at the top of the women's division. Every time she stepped into the ring, she carried an aura of unshakable confidence, a warrior's heart beating beneath the black and purple aesthetic that had become her signature. She had carved a path for herself through sheer will, through pain and perseverance, and Buddy had witnessed every step of that journey up close. Their love story wasn't the kind of fairy tale seen in movies. It was one forged in sweat-soaked gyms, late-night recovery sessions, and a shared understanding of sacrifice. They had both dedicated their lives to professional wrestling, knowing that the road would be brutal, but neither had ever backed down from a challenge. Buddy remembered the first time he saw her perform live. It was years ago, when she was still climbing the ranks, her star yet to fully rise. She was relentless, unshaken by the expectations placed upon her. He saw something in her then, something rare, something that went beyond just talent. It was that fire, that hunger, that refusal to settle for anything less than greatness. Over the years, they grew together, both as wrestlers and as people. They trained together, pushed each other beyond their limits, celebrated the victories, and endured the heartbreaks. They understood the pressures of the business better than anyone else could, and in those quiet moments away from the ring, they found solace in each other. As Buddy laced up his boots, he glanced at his phone, the lock screen a picture of Rhea standing atop the turnbuckle. Championship in hand, victorious yet again, he smiled. Tonight, he wanted to pay tribute to her in a way that truly mattered, inside the ring. He had done countless interviews praising her resilience, had posted heartfelt messages on social media, but words only meant so much. Wrestling was their language, their form of expression, and he wanted to honor her by embodying the very essence of what made her great. He had planned a special tribute, subtle to most, but unmistakable to those who knew. He had designed his entrance gear to match her signature black and purple color scheme, a nod to her dominance. His wrist tape bore the initials RR. not just as a reminder of her, but as a source of strength. And most importantly, he was incorporating one of her signature moves into his own repertoire for the night. As his music hit and he stepped onto the stage, he felt the energy of the crowd, the roaring fans oblivious to the personal significance of this match. But it didn't matter. This was for her. The match was brutal, hard-hitting, exactly the kind Buddy loved. He thrived in high-paced, physical battles, much like Rhea did. But as the match reached its climax, he saw his moment. He backed his opponent into the corner, letting the adrenaline take over as he channeled Rhea's signature confidence. Then, he hoisted his opponent onto his shoulders, her move, her devastating finisher, the Riptide. The crowd gasped, recognizing the tribute instantly. With the same precision and power that she executed it with, he slammed his opponent onto the mat, securing the victory. As the referee raised his arm in victory, he didn't soak in the moment for himself. Instead, he looked into the camera and tapped the initials on his wrist tape. "For you," he mouthed. Backstage, Rhea had been watching on a monitor, a smirk playing on her lips. She was never one for sentimental displays, but this was something different. She knew what it meant. She knew that this wasn't just about respect. It was love, the kind of love that transcended words, the kind only understood by those who shared the same battle scars. Later that night, when they finally found a quiet moment away from the chaos of the industry, Rhea leaned against the doorway of their hotel room, arms crossed, championship still slung over her shoulder. "Riptide, huh?" she teased, raising an eyebrow. Buddy grinned as he pulled off his hoodie. "Figured I'd pay homage to the best in the business." Rhea chuckled, stepping closer. "Better stick to your own moves, Matthews. There's only one Riptide in this household." He laughed, pulling her into a tight embrace. "Yeah, but there's only one Rhea Ripley too. And she just so happens to be the greatest champion of them all." She rolled her eyes, but the warmth in her gaze was undeniable. "Damn right I am." Buddy pressed a kiss to her forehead, letting the moment linger. In the grand spectacle of wrestling, where storylines and rivalries dominated the conversation, this was what truly mattered: the unwavering respect, the admiration, the love between two warriors who understood each other better than anyone else ever could. And as Rhea rested her head against his chest, championship gleaming under the dim light, she knew that no tribute, no words, no grand gesture could ever mean as much as simply knowing that, win or lose, title or not, they would always be in each other's corner. Buddy Matthews just wrestled at AEW Grand Slam Australia earlier tonight. During the show, he paid homage to his wife, Rhea Ripley. Buddy Matthews and Rhea Ripley first met each other during their time working in WWE in 2020. Their friendship blossomed and they began dating 2 years later in 2022. A year later, the couple announced their engagement and they finally tied the knot last year. Although Buddy and Rhea work for different promotions currently, they have always been supportive of each other's work. Their careers also have some parallels. Last year, at WWE Elimination Chamber, Rhea competed in her home country of Australia, and she wore a jacket with the country's flag on the back. Today, Buddy Matthews competed at Grand Slam Australia, and he decided to pay homage to his wife by wearing a similar jacket. On the February 3 episode of WWE Raw, Io Sky had the chance to qualify for the Elimination Chamber match. However, Rhea, who tried to help her out, ended up costing Io the match. The former WWE Women's Champion was quite upset about the setback. To make things right, Mammy offered Io a title shot on the Raw after Elimination Chamber. This means that Io still has a chance to make it to WrestleMania this year.